Sloppy, what in the world is going on, boy? They got you in the grease. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Oh my God. See, before, this was just some internet thing that ended up coming out of the mouth of Kendrick Lamar, insinuated by Kenya Lamar, in a rap song, in a lot of his rap songs. This man has been pointed out by people on social media for many years about his activities. Okay? That's neither here nor there. Then it goes from that to being something entirely different. It goes from that scenario where everyone feel that that's where it's supposed to be, or something going wrong or something changing, to a whole new development where it's in legal court now. And because Discovery people goes, Drake ain't the only one who's doing Discovery. Their team is doing Discovery too on Drake. And I don't think Drake wants them to continue this Discovery, because you don't want to unveil what they discovered about you. These are the people that pay you. They write your checks. Believe me, they gonna know about you 100 times more than you gonna know about them. And it's finna get greasy, Sloppy. It's finna get real greasy. So without further ado, drop the intro. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Welcome. And don't forget to hit that like button too. That's true. Hit the like button up so they can know that you're real, you're not a bot, you're not fake. This is real. Now, everybody who knows this is real, not fake, not a bot, it's showtime. Now, Champagne Sloppy for years have been getting harassed and brought to the forefront and being exposed by myself and others for his activity with people that might seem to be a little too on the young side. Now, UMG claims we can exploit this relationship with these minors, and we got paperwork, and that's in our discovery. Ooh. Company man, break it down.
Reputation. Okay. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. Lamar is likely to have discoverable information concerning the creation of the recording, image, and video, and distribution and promotion of the recording and video. Really interesting that they use Kendrick, but it's really just about the song and the video itself, the 2 issues that play at the core of this case. Not like us, the recording, not like us, the video, and then some of the promotion questions that Drake's team has levied here. But they're not talking about his contract. They're not talking about reputational stuff. So there's that. Anthony Sala, Kendrick's manager. Mr. Sala is likely to have discoverable information concerning UMG's contractual relationship with Lamar and marketing and promotion of the recording and video, which makes sense, right? Because this is Kendrick's manager. So this is where the contract stuff is. All right. So here's where this gets interesting. Here's where this gets really interesting. So pay attention here. If and as discovery progresses and other and as otherwise appropriate, UMG reserves the right to supplement, amend, or otherwise modify the identification of individuals whose entities may have discoverable information, including without limitation, potentially supplementing with the names of individuals listed by plaintiff in his initial disclosures. UMG also reserves the right to call any individuals identified by plaintiff in his initial disclosures to testify in connection with this proceeding. All right, here's B. All right, lock in here. Copy or description by category and location of documents, electronically store information, and tangible things under Federal Rule of Civil Procedures 26A1AI2, or 2, excuse me. Based upon the information now reasonably available to UMG, UMG states that it has in its possession, custody or control of the following categories of documents that it may use to support its defenses, unless the use would be solely for impeachment. Okay, so this is the things that UMG is stating now on record that they have in their possession that they're willing to use to defend itself. All right, now we've seen UMG respond to the various filings that have gone out, the pre-action petitions, et cetera. We've seen UMG's responses to this, and they've hinted at a number of things. For example, we all had a great time looking at the footnotes of UMG's filings because they were hilarious and throwing all kinds of shade, particularly in the beginning.
And that is a very key point. What he just made right there is very key. They gave you an outline saying, we're warning you. You don't want to go down this road. UMG told him that in the very beginning. When they put out that statement, they saying, you don't want to go down this road, Drake. You don't. Because this thing goes both ways. If you want to throw some dirt on us and say we did this and now you guys are dirty, remember, we're the company that helped you. When you went against Meek Mill and Pusha T, we helped you. So if we dirty, what that make you? Do you really want to go down this road? Because there's stuff you did. And he thinking it's always those people who do things and they become oblivious to the things they do. They so focused on what they think you did. It's like, dude, I don't know what you thought. Them dudes is grimy just like us. And that's the key. Sloppy. How are you to throw stones when they claim they have possession, digital, everything, copies of proof? They ain't get it from me, y'all. I didn't submit it to them. I ain't say nothing to no government about nothing about Sloppy. That's facts. I ain't say nothing to the government about Sloppy. That's the truth. I'm dead serious. I didn't say nothing about Sloppy to the government.
In their earlier documents. And so you're going to see some of the things that they talked about in their footnotes in this latest update. This update came out yesterday. All right, so let's go through them. 1, contracts and agreements between UMG and Drake and documents concerning UMG's contractual relationship with Drake. We talked about Lucien Grange's letter, how Lucien Grange said that they own the bulk of Drake's catalog. You know, for example, we'll get to see the splits as that was also a part of the conversation in this back and forth between Drake and Kendrick, you know, where Drake says, the way you doing splits, your pants might rip. And then Kendrick says, show me your splits, I'll make sure I double back with you. You signed to a hitter that signed to a hitter that said he was signed to that hitter. I still love that. I mean, it's a Pusha T thread, but it's still funny. So, but nevertheless, Drake's contract, obviously Drake has that. Obviously UMG has that. All right. The other recordings in Drake and Lamar's rap feud and documents concerning the distribution, marketing, and promotion of the other recordings in the feud. I think this is particularly interesting because one of the theories that's out there is that on Family Matters, Drake says, know what I mean, and that's allegedly supposed to be Kojo's company. So he put that in Family Matters because he knew I guess he either knew he was going to sue, or I guess he knew that things were being botted. But Family Matters came out before Not Like Us. It came out before Meet the Grams. So at that point in time, the bots are really only working for, as it pertains to this battle, what? Euphoria? I mean, that never really made sense to me about that. Just the timeline of things that are happening there, right? So if you're going to say Kojo and all these people were botting, and Drake is, out here saying that he's leaving breadcrumbs for his fans, that he has information on all of this, the timing just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up at all. But that just comes to mind when I look at this bullet point here, right? Because there were other recordings in Drake and Lamar's rap feud and documents concerning the distribution, marketing, promotion of the other recordings in the feud. I'd imagine that distribution around them was about the same, and then after Not Like Us took on a life of its own, it carried its own thing, I'd imagine.
It actually took off because the whole world was paying attention to it. Everybody was reacting to it on YouTube from when Kendrick dropped Euphoria. That's when it became real, because he responded back to Drake, and it was through the stratosphere. Every podcast was talking about it. Everybody wanted to react to it. Then he came with TaylorMade. I mean, not the TaylorMade, but the 616, and followed that up. So now the clock was on Drake. So everybody was waiting to see what he was going to do. Drake finished up his tour, and right when he finished his tour that he was on, that's when he dropped the song. He had talking about, yeah, y'all know what I got to do. Yeah, I'm about to get to it. You know what I'm about to do. So he goes ahead and drops the Family Matters. And Family Matters is starting to get all the traction. But y'all limit, and I don't know why, they always discredit the YouTube community of the review or reaction community. The reaction community represents hundreds of millions of views. Hundreds of millions. Not just a million views. I'm saying hundreds of millions. They generate that. That community generate all of the reactions that you see. That's why these people are so confused as to how it's playing out, because they're not realizing that there are different type of levels, and they don't understand the internet game. So they'll just assume it's got to be the bot. He know it isn't the bots. You didn't even have to think about buying a bot for Not Like Us. It didn't need a bot. The moment Not Like Us hit the internet, it was like a bomb went off. It did not have to be botted. Every reaction video, as soon as they heard it, it was one of those songs. You hear it one time and you say, oh my God. You knew it was a bomb when you heard it. My cousin, the only one, said, I ain't really like that. And I'm like, what? You don't know what this song is about to do? Man, I said that if I had my old phone, I would definitely be able to run that straight through you. Our conversation, man. I told him flat out, like, dude, you are delusional. If you don't think this song is exactly what we talking about, this is what we talking about. Like, this song's finna do. I was like, this gonna bring the West Coast back. I knew it was gonna do that. I'm like, the entire West Coast is back off this record. This is a West Coast banger. I never thought it was gonna be international. Everybody wanted in on the fun, but it started with the reaction videos. We created that atmosphere. Everybody here on YouTube, you didn't need to bot it. everybody hears, oh, and it came out at the right time. It came out on a Saturday night. My knee was all messed up. I just messed my knee up. I'm like, man, my knee is a mess. The song is out. When it first came out that Sunday morning, because I didn't listen to it with everybody else. I'm sitting in my car. I'm sitting there like this. I ain't even know the lyrics yet. And I'm playing it in the car. I got a video of me injured in my car, sitting there like it's a bomb. I'm sitting in my car, B. That's the day it came out. Like, it came out that night. That's early in the morning. I'm sitting outside the boxing gym in the car, windows down, and my leg got the brace on it. I just played basketball, messed my leg up. We was arguing over Family Matters and Meet the Grams. I was like, play that Meet the Grams. I was like, yeah, it's over. Meet the Grams came out, and that was it. Well, let's get to the big reveal. Let's go.
But that part's interesting. Here's the next one. The petition entitled Art on Trial, Protect Black Art, appended as Exhibit A to UMG's request for judicial notice in support of its motion to dismiss. Now, I think this speaks more than anything else to just how litigious, or how, in this case, rap lyrics have been used in court quite a bit. We saw this with the Young Thug YSL trial, for example. They tried to take things that they're saying in songs and making them literal confessions. And they always try to treat hip hop that way. Yeah. In a lot of ways, they try to treat hip hop as if it's different than movies, etc. Now, I'll be straight up. I understand it. Half of it is because hip hop itself has always defined itself as keeping it real, or for a very long time was talking about keeping it real, or that's fake, or you're not writing your rhymes, or you're not really living that life. And so that is sort of a branding hip hop as a culture and a community we put on ourselves in a lot of ways, but we have strayed a long way from that point in time. Now we have rappers who are saying, yeah, I use ChatGPT to write my raps.
Tomato.
We've got people outside Big X the Plug. We talked about this in the chart report. Big X the Plug is out here saying, admitting his homies writing his whole songs.
Tomato.
Now, these two things aren't the same, but nevertheless, these are a different era. And I think it's very obvious in 2025 that whatever the ethos and tenets of hip hop were at one point in time, they have evolved quite a bit. And because of that, when you start seeing the litigious nature, you start seeing prosecutors or attorney generals out here trying to put a RICO on everybody, saying that, oh, well, he said it in his rap song, it must be true. I imagine that this bullet point here speaks to that. The petition entitled Art on Trial, Protect Black Art, appended as Exhibit A to UMG's request for judicial notice in support of its motion to dismiss.
Then that's a very key fact, because that is the reason that they're putting that law in place, because they're trying to use art to put people in jail. That's like arresting Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jason Statham for an action movie they did. They tried this they've been doing this since the 80s. The 80s and early 90s. When they declared war on hip hop and tried to make Tupac Shakur one of the main catalysts for all of the problems in hip hop, most of y'all were too young to understand that the president of the United States and the vice president of the United States tried to go after Tupac Shakur to use them for an election. And it backfired, and they ended up losing the election because blacks came together and said, hell no, that ain't gonna happen. Not on our watch. And this is before he was Death Row Tupac. He had just had his first solo album out. A guy who had took out a cop said that he was inspired and motivated by Tupac Shakur's song. And then they trying to charge Tupac for a man deciding to take the life of a Texas officer. And Dan Quayle and them, the vice president of the United States of America, went after him. Pac thought this was good publicity. Hey, this is good publicity for my album. And his mom said, boy, do you know what just happened? Because he was at his mother's house in Atlanta when this happened. He was like, this is good for my album. He was like, she looked at him and like, boy, you have just been targeted by the most powerful office of government in the world. This ain't a good thing. She was worried because she knew Pac wasn't. He didn't understand. And that's why she was like, my son don't understand how big this is going to be. And she knows her son. She knows Pac. He has no fear of what the government is going to do. So she knew he was a target. That's all that staged event that ended up happening with him that sent him to jail for something he didn't do. This was what was going on. Most of y'all was way too young or wasn't even born yet when this happened. But when Tupac's name came out the mouth of the vice president of the United States of America, it meant something back then, especially from this regime that don't listen to hip hop. This was serious. So when you saw the RICO case, you saw the Diddy case, and all these RICO charges they throwing on rappers and gangs now, when it used to be for mafia members. But they ran out of mafia members to use the RICO case on. So now they said, look, let's just weaponize it for American citizens who are Black. There's so many RICO cases out here that you just don't even know about. Like I told you, when I was talking to my lawyer who does RICO cases in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and Chicago, he has an office. And he was telling me all the legal things that I need to know. So when I was telling you guys about this, I wasn't just speaking as somebody that's, you just taking up for Diddy. Then when you saw the case play out and everybody was shocked, and I was telling you, see, how you going to get RICO? There's no RICO here. And you listening to other YouTubers tell you, no, it is, see, because they've already proven it because she said it. And it was on TMZ. And when you got people like that, you're following. And I'm telling you, I'm talking to a lawyer. One that actually does RICO cases. And he's saying, look, I do RICO cases. We start with the profit. Where's the money? And we start from the money, and then you get the people that's connected to the money. That's how it works. So seeing everything else play out in a way that don't make sense, then you got to start asking yourself questions. Why did they do it that way? Right? So the art against hip hop, what he's speaking about, has been going on since the 90s. They always treat hip hop like everything they say is real and that they couldn't deal with it. They had them on talk shows. They were everywhere. Every rapper in the world was on a talk show. And they kept bringing up these facts. What's real in hip hop and what isn't? Is this thing really real or is it not? We need to know. And they rappers tell you, like, I am an artist. I write. Like people were saying, my real name isn't Ice Cube. My parents didn't name me Ice Cube. I am an artist. I have a record recording contract. Like they said, when Michael Jackson made Thriller, you think he's really out there turning into a zombie dancing at night with zombies coming out of the ground? The kids think that was real? The kids think, oh my God, Michael Jackson goes to graveyards and dance, and the zombies, they all come out and party with him. And then they go back to the damn hole. No. But you got all these rock bands that go out here. They got demons out there. They cutting heads of chickens on stage, tearing up hotel rooms. None of them going to jail. A rapper will get arrested for saying a certain word on stage. That's how much control that we had to fight for over the last 25 years, 35 years, sorry. That's what we've been fighting against forever. So this is something not really new, but it's new that now they're putting it into law. They're saying you got to have this art to protect against Black artists because we're being attacked. And it's always the Blacks being attacked. Now, it's getting to the good part. Don't worry. We getting there. So just hold your head because it's getting interesting. Because I told you, these elements are not surprising. Here we go.
Next bullet point. Other recordings by Drake and documents concerning the same, including but not limited to those appended in Exhibits B, C, and Z to UMG's RGN. News reports and documents concerning Drake's relationship around minors. I'm gonna read that one more time. News reports and documents concerning Drake's relationships with and behavior around minors. The criminal charges and convictions of Baca Not Nice. Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Travis Savory. And 3, the rap feud between Drake and Lamar, including but not limited to the documents appended in Exhibits N through X to UMG's RJN. Now, the rap feud between Drake and Lamar, news reports and documents concerning Drake's relationships with and behavior around minors. The criminal charges and convictions of Baca Not Nice. Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Travis Savory. And 3, the rap feud between Drake and Lamar, including but not limited to the documents appended in Exhibits N through X to UMG's RJN.
You gotta say that again.
Minors. I'm in support of his motion to dismiss. Next bullet point. Other recordings by Drake and documents concerning the same, including but not limited to those appended in Exhibits B, C, and Z to UMG's RGN. News reports and documents concerning Drake's relationships with and behavior around minors. I'm gonna read that one more time. News reports and documents concerning Drake's relationships with and behavior around minors. The criminal charges and convictions of Baca Not Nice. Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Travis Savory. And 3, the rap feud between Drake and Lamar, including but not limited to the documents appended in Exhibits N through X to UMG's RJN. Now.
Oh my goodness. They got you, Sloppy. They got you, Sloppy. Champagne Sloppy is once again now in the grease. Let's see if they bot this up. See, Sloppy, you worried about everybody on YouTube. You should have been worried about yourself. You should have been worried about your behavior. And I saw that the way you were moving. I saw how you were acting. I saw how you were pretty much moving about, moving a foot. And I saw how you were engaging in certain activities. And when I saw you doing these engagements, I knew for a fact this was not going to go good for you, buddy. And you see the smile he got on his face. You see that smile he got on his face, right? Hey, company man got that. He got that smile on his face. That's the, hey. That's the, hey, they got you. Got you, bitch. Oh. Hey, your career is already over. But now they finna drive the nail home and you did all the work. See, Sloppy, you did all the work. Your team did all the work. You did bad decision after bad decision. You linked yourself to an idiot named Top 5 who just got out of prison. Who going around, yeah, I'm the top 5 killer. I'm going to, yeah, kill your mom. Yeah, when he come here, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm like, what the hell? This little wild looking thing, man. I'm like, get this little kid up out of here. Nobody worried about him. He trying to be a YouTuber. Yeah, I go to, yeah, because I'm a YouTuber and I rap. I'm top 5 because I'm top 5. I'm like, man, get this clown out of here. You are associating yourself to white, racist, biker gangs, but trying to integrate yourself with blacks. They attack Rick Ross. You celebrating racist white people jumping on black men. You're clapping for that. Remember you celebrated and your team called you and said, that's not a good look. This is a criminal organization and you're clapping your hands for them. I wouldn't do that, Drake. Boom! I wouldn't do that, Drake. But he disrespected me. He was being racist. He called me white boy. He's being racist. Well, aren't you half white? Well, yes, but I'm black too because my father's black. And I said I identify as black when it suits me. They be like, when you grab eggs, right? What do you put on your eggs? You got hot sauce? Oh, I use mayonnaise. Mayonnaise? Okay, you got French fries, right? What you gonna dip them with? Some ketchup? Some barbecue sauce? Oh, mayonnaise. Oh, yeah. No, I want some mayonnaise. Now you got some potato salad, right? And you got some coleslaw. Oh, slaw all day. Yeah, ugh. Potato salad, sometimes maybe. But slaw, oh, gosh, I love some slaw. Yeah, he was right about you. Hey. I'm telling you. The girl walked by, she got boobs on. She got those big bazoombas. What you gonna say? Man, look at the cans on that bimbo. I'm going to be like, wow, look at those milkers. She's got some incredible milkers. Milkers. Yeah. Rick Ross may have been right. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now. This dude has put himself in this situation. Now, them saying that they have this evidence is evident that, hey, you put yourself in the grease. Nobody put you here. You put yourself there. I'm still like flabbergasted as to why you did this to yourself. Nobody was saying anything. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I was about to fall out. I was like, did I just read that right? Did they say Drake's relationship with minors? Hold on. I'm about to fall out. That's like legally in a courtroom. That's like giving me the magic bullet. That's like giving me the magic bullet. I'm the last person you want to have that for me to go and do a video with, because you can't say nothing to me. It's legal paperwork now. It's president. I ain't just seen no making stuff up, reaching. No, buddy. All your little trips to Turk and Caicos, Dot knew about that. They all knew. You see, everybody knows something. But see, these are the people that pay your money. They pay your salary. So if your job know what you do, you keep worrying about them, they billionaires. Okay? You playing with billionaires. And you trying to embarrass billionaires. Ask Diddy if that's a good idea. Diddy be don't do it. Daddy, I wouldn't do that, Daddy. I would never mess with another billionaire like this again. I'm still in jail and I won. Tell me how that worked. Yeah, this is crazy. I can't get out, even on bail. And I'm innocent. So learn from Diddy. Don't mess with billionaires. Okay? This ain't no street money. This is real money. You think you got $100 million and you mean something, your money will get dried up. Diddy was worth $1 billion when this trial started. That dude worth like $2,500 right now. That's how much they devalue Diddy. Do you want to keep playing with these billionaires? See, you play billionaire. They're actual billionaires. Let me get out this sunlight. Man, it's like the sun shines directly on me. That's the light of God coming right in here. The light of God is coming down on y'all. Now, still in jail and halfway was acquitted is outrageous. I know, right? It's crazy. I'm laughing, but it ain't really a laughing matter. Now, company man went on to say this, right?
UMG is saying, yo, we are willing. We also have information on Drake's relationships with minors. And this really speaks to what we've been talking about for a very long time. Discovery goes both ways.
Yep.
Discovery goes both ways.
Same thing I said.
Drake knows a lot about UMG. UMG knows a lot about Drake.
Yep.
And for Drake to make this case that Not Like Us is defamatory to him, which from everything that we've seen so far, at least I've seen so far, I interpret it as the bulk of that lives on the lines certified lover boy, certified PDFs. A lot of it leans on that. The Say Drake, I heard you like him young line, that is a quote from Drake himself from Tailor-Made Freestyle. Okay. The stuff that they put in there about Not Like Us being anti-Semitic or threats of violence or whatever, I think that's fluff to round out the filing itself. The certified pedophiles part is a play on Drake's catalog. We know that. But they're hoping to sneak past, from Drake's team standpoint, they want the fact that not everyone who's heard this song is aware of the nuances of hip hop, of this battle, of what a rap battle is and how the energy moves. They want those people, because we've read about this quite a bit in all these documents. They've made this point a lot. They want to be able to argue that the average consumer, the general consumer, won't understand that line. And UMG is saying, well, we're prepared now with news reports and documents. We know about the public stuff. We know about, different actresses, what they've said on record. We know about what happened on stage. I believe that was in Colorado when he kissed the underage girl on stage. Okay, we know about a lot of these public stuff. We know a lot of news reports, but they say they have documents too. Drake's relationships with and behavior around minors.
What did I miss? You missed the fact that they said they got evidence of your ass with relationship with minors. That's it. What did I miss? That's what you missed. You should have backed this out of this law. This lawsuit is finna cost you millions. Drake has a team of lawyers, right, that they had on retainer. You have to pay them $100,000 each for the retaining. That's just to retain their services. To go through this process is very costly. You're looking at lawyers that are getting paid some of them are getting paid $2,000 an hour. And you got a team of about 4 or 5 lawyers. The lowest lawyer is getting about $700 an hour. You're paying for their lunches. You're paying for their meetings. You're paying for them flying out to get information. You're paying for all of it. And at the end of this case, you are going to have to foot the bill. And that's going to come out to a few $1,000,000 bucks. We're talking about 17 million in legal fees. Probably right now, by my calculation, you're probably about 16 to 17 million in the hole. Just off legal fees. And all of the time consuming going to court. UMG could pay this for their legals at all. You want UMG to pay your legal fees, and they're looking like, no. They're like, no, we're not. No, we're not. Now, all you people who are supporting Drake, knowing that UMG is claiming that they have this evidence, they have it on file, and they're willing to present it in discovery. I don't know if Champagne Sloppy wanted to go down this road. He gonna be spending about $16 to $17 million by the time this case is done. Because they're sticking them. They're sticking them hard. Now, I don't know like how much, in retaining fee he has. Like how much they're doing it for. They're doing it for family, friends and family discount. Because it started off as one case, right, against UMG. He had another case that was going on that he involved another record company that he ended up dropping the case, thank God, because this was going to crush him if this thing continued to go on. And I'm just saying, if this continues to go on, he'll be at like 16, 17 million easy. Because this thing has not went to trial. This is discovery. So you're in the discovery process. Now, if this thing gets dismissed, and that's what Drake needs, he needs this case to go away. If this thing continues and does not get dismissed, he's in for a huge rude awakening. He doesn't want what's coming. Mm-hmm. They said OVO fans drop some merch on Amazon today. Go ahead, get your body pillow wide. Oh my God. They said, who had allegations on him for how long? See, you don't know. There's probably stuff that they covered up for him. You see, they could have evidence that they covered up for this guy that he know about and just like, wow, they still got that? Yeah, if you give them a magic bullet, why would they get rid of it? They would hold that for the day you do something stupid like this. Look, these people would probably have a lot on file. They brought up Baca case. Do you want them to really dig deep into what Baca was really doing and how that got cleaned up by the Canadian government and how they gave you a little slap on the wrist because you're Drake? I still don't believe your buddy got shot outside your house at all. I think that whole thing was studio time. Nobody's seen no photos, no pictures. Who is this invisible man that was shot? There's been no reports, no sightings, nothing. And they just had this fake press conference come out. And then they had these fake arrests of people jumping over fences, getting arrested, trying to go into Drake's house all of a sudden. I mean, studio actors too. The one of the guys, they was busted for being in a commercial, like a trailer for like one of ad advertisement for like one of those Cialis type commercials. So he was busted. I was like, dude, they had the printout like of his thumbnail, for his mug shot. I'm like, look at that guy. That guy was like he got his hair done at Vial Sassoon. Does that look like the kind of guy that's gonna break into Drake's house? I'm like, that he looks like a CEO of a marketing company. What the hell is he doing? Trying to scale the wall to break into Drake's house. I heard not like us. I gotta get in there. It was ridiculous. It was a play to try to run a distraction. And who would know that more than UMG? You think UMG don't know if that was a play? this whole thing could blow up in his face really badly. And I don't think that's something that he's interested in following up with. It's really bad. And this situation is coming full circle into a head. And I think at this point, he needs to really look at himself in the mirror and say, whoa, what have I done? What have I actually done? And now you give this not just to me, but to the entire community. Because we've already known here on the internet, but this is the first time like we're being validated in a courtroom. Or like what we found ain't just us just digging, that this is actually real. And let's get the world's reaction to all this. Let's get to the world.
Oh my God.
What? Trust me. I ain't never seen nobody fight an L so bad that they just tripped on another one. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
What? Trust me. When Drake be at them parties and all of that shit, they got people around him gathering information. Just in case. They got, bro, 400 million, what they signed him for? 450? 400 million? They got to protect that. Oh, we got to make sure this ninja don't flip. He already got a record for trying to sue the Degrassi people for not getting him out the wheelchair. He got a record of trying to sue people. We got something for him. We need to keep record of everything. We're gonna sign somebody. They got the bread. They got the bread to follow him. He's sipping on the wine spritzer. He out. When he out, all right, boom, take notes. Record him. What he doing? Matter of fact, let's go hire somebody that look young or something like that and put him around him. Let's just see how he act towards him. I'm telling you, bro, these people, they're not dumb. They gotta protect their investment, man.
Another development in the
A minors. We're in the midst of this shit. So listen, I want to talk about this video right here because UMG is ready to play the dirty game.
Reminder though, initial disclosures are the first stage of a lawsuit where both sides are required to reveal who might testify and what evidence they might use. What they intend to bring forward was noted a while back, likely to let Drake know this is where we are willing to take this in discovery if you want to move forward.
These are initial disclosures. This isn't all the witnesses they plan to bring. This isn't all the information, but this is UMG saying, hey, before we really get started on this, because it looks like just in case this thing might keep going, here's what we have so far that we're already prepared to present to the judge and if need be to the court.
To be honest with you, I think UMG taking it light on him. I think they taking it light on him, but let's see what he got to say though.
This is where it starts.
Now, this was publicly noted, but I don't believe it was made public until the documents were updated yesterday to court listener August 18th at 7:42 p.m. Now, it's 7 pages, but it's pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. They list out what it is that they basically intend to bring forward.
This update in the UMG lawsuit is crazy. Now, we had read a little bit of the updates that they gave us about the subpoena for Mr. Kaplan, but it looks like this is even more intense than that because now UMG claims that what they have in their possession is going to be able to help in their defense. Going based off of Rule 26A1A, they are claiming that based upon the information now reasonably available to UMG, UMG states that it has in its possession, custody, or control the following categories of documents that it may use to support its defenses, unless the use would be solely for impeachment. And this is the information that UMG claims that they have that they will use in their defense.
And UMG's list is heavy, and it could get very dark for the boy. Very dark. But first of all, UMG listed Drake himself, Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick's manager, Anthony Saleh, and several top UMG executives as people who could be called to testify. So that means Drake can find himself face-to-face with Kendrick Lamar. Now, I don't recall the last time these two have been in the same vicinity as each other. I think the last time they may have been in the same area was Drake popped up to the Mr. Morale tour in Canada, but the word on the street is Kendrick brushed him off. Kendrick didn't want to have no conversation with him.
And this is where it starts to get good. First bullet says that the contracts and agreements between UMG and Drake and documents concerning UMG's contractual relationship with Drake. So they're going to pull Drake's contract. UMG has access to Drake's contract, obviously, and now they're going to show Drake's contract in court. The other recording in Drake and Lamar's rap feud and documents concerning the distribution, marketing, and promotion of the recording in the feud, of the other recordings in the feud. So they're going to talk about all the other songs that were mentioned in the beef.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. The judge said they can't just go off and not like us. They got to see what you've been saying too, Ninja. They got to go along with what you. Hold on. You can't say Kendrick was doing this and this and that, and you just out of the battle. A battle takes two. So did you go off and just ignore the Ninja, or was you participating in it too? You know what I'm saying?
Now, will it be heavily redacted like they tried to do with Kendrick's contract the other day? I don't know. Maybe they'll expose things that they know Drake don't want to see that won't hurt them themselves. They also want to present all of the diss tracks. Now, does that mean just the ones the public heard, or does that include the songs that weren't released? Because, baby, I would love to hear the alleged 19-minute version of Euphoria and the 5 stops that Kendrick had in stock.
Drake wanted to see Kendrick Lamar's contract, and he wanted to make that public. He wanted it to be, shown in court. Well, they're turning around and they're saying, well, we can show you your contract and the contractual relationship that we have with you, Drake. So basically they can pull, like I was saying earlier, they can pull each song that was in the rap battle. They can pull that and use it because they have all of those documents. They have the lyrics. They have basically the documents concerning distribution, marketing, and promotion to show you that we did not use bots.
The petition entitled Art on Trial, Protect Black Art, appended as Exhibit A to UMG's request for judicial notice in support of its motion to dismiss. Now, this Art on Trial that they're talking about is a petition and public campaign a few years ago, if I'm correct, by music industry leaders, including executives at Warner Records and Atlantic Records, as well as artists and advocacy groups.
As Drake signed that petition, this petition was meant to stop courts from using rap lyrics as evidence against artists. But look at the situation now. Drake is suing UMG. This is hypocrisy at its finest. Drake wanted lyrics protected when it benefited him. Now, the same legal system is saying his own lyrics might prove his guilty conscience, which...
You know what's crazy too? Drake, a couple of years ago, was saying that lyrics shouldn't be used against people in court. And now look what he's doing. So you know he's a hypocrite, man. Dude is a hypocrite. He's such a hypocrite. And it's like, some of y'all who defend this, I question y'all. It's not the fact that I don't care if you like Drake. A lot of people like Drake, but you can't tell me that this is decent behavior when it comes to this. Like, I just don't understand it. I really don't understand why people have this thing with defending him when it comes to this type of stuff. It's like, look what he's doing here. Now, UMG has to expose everything about what's going on. Their back is against the wall. They have to expose it now. Now, is that going to really destroy Drake's legacy? It could. Because Kendrick might have said some things. He might have opened the door for some things, but they have the power to actually put it out there.
News reports and documents concerning Drake's relationship with and behavior around minors.
You done. You should have stayed out the courtroom, boy. Now they're about to do some deep digging.
Let's focus on Millie Bobby Brown, because that's who's going to be, the crux of this whole situation. The allegation: for years, Drake has been scrutinized for his relationship with Millie Bobby Brown, who was underage when they were close. People question his mentorship, quote unquote. The texting, telling him he missing, he love her. The optics of how that looked is very messy. Why are you 31 plus years old telling you, a 13-year-old, you miss her through text messages? I know God green's earth should my 13-year-old daughter be texting a 30-plus-year-old man that I do not know.
Yep.
And for the life of me, I cannot understand why you want to mentor a 13, 14-year-old girl. What are you mentoring her about? Oh, you used to be on a child show, right? You play Wheelchair Jimmy.
This is why I say UMG, I believe they taking it light. I think being as though they've been protecting him for so many years, they know what he's capable of. They know what he's been doing behind closed doors. They ain't about to dump all this money into him and they don't know what type of person he is. Believe me, they had people hanging around him. Okay, we need to see what this dude, what's his vices. What do he like? What do he like to do? What's he like behind the scenes? Understand? And they got this shit documented. Believe that. Believe that.
The criminal charges and conviction of Baca Not Nice, and the rap feud between Drake and Lamar, including but not limited to the documents appended in exhibits N through X to UMG's RJN. So
now listen, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I think we all kind of seen some shit like this coming. Because obviously, from what it's looking like, it's almost seeming like we the only ones out here that can see this shit. Because apparently Drake and his legal team and his friends, if he has any of them, they can't see this.
Yeah, he in trouble. He in trouble, man. I'm telling you now, man. I'm telling you now. He in trouble, man. He in trouble, man. Yeah, I'm telling y'all right now, it's over, bro. He's in trouble, bro. Like, listen, bro. Let me explain something to y'all. If this is going on, trust me, and they're going to look into his past, it's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come out. Because you know, if this goes to trial, they're going to bring witnesses that were the girl that was on stage. Oh yeah, she's coming down. She's coming. She might go and she might say, "Hey, but that wasn't the. Oh, I found out that wasn't the only girl he did that to. Not kiss, but said that to. He was bringing young girls on stage and he was saying, "How old are you?" And some of them were saying they was older. He was like, "Oh, okay, cool. You ain't no young girl. You ain't no young. You above age." Like, so he knew what he was doing.
Yesterday's video pretty much solidified that Drake is a hypocrite. He called somebody out saying that they were a pedal to the metal, and basically he said that he knew that he messes with 17-year-olds, and he saw that person was messing with 17-year-olds, and he called them a pedal to the metal. And if you go back, now that somebody is saying it to you, you're going and suing. But UMG can use this against you. They're going to say, how convenient. I can already see it now. They're going to say, how convenient that you're saying this.
So I take this and I read this as UMG putting the court on notice and putting Drake's name on notice. Because if Drake is forcing UMG to take the route of defending themselves, if Drake's team is forcing UMG to defend themselves, UMG is prepared to do so. And whatever it is, there's a lot of public stuff. This is why this case is so crazy to me, because there's a lot of public stuff that if you present this in court, it can help color to the courtroom, to a jury, the bombastic hyperbole that is common in rap battles. And if they have to get into the details, well, yeah, Drake told Dot to say that he heard he likes young girls as a gift for me. And you can go look at all of these other public records that have been out there, plus whatever documents UMG has.
Okay. They are putting it out there. They are willing to bring up Drake's history with minors, the criminal conviction of his associate, Baca Not Nice, and a trail of news reports and documents that could be devastating for Drake's reputation. Devastating. Like I said, people like to harp on, oh, Kendrick called him a pedo with no proof. Those same people who say this like to pretend that this is just something new and Kendrick just pulled this shit out the sky. No, there's been so many articles in regards to his alleged deviances with minors. Like,
it's basically saying that UMG ain't playing no games, man. They have news reports and documents concerning Drake's relationship with and behavior around minors. So basically, that's literally them saying that they can bring up a whole lot of information from what they've seen online, what they've seen from news reports, documents, shit. A lot of that shit might come from our YouTube channels.
Yep.
That everybody is going to react to this so crazy because now it's UMG officially saying that in their defense, they are now going to show news reports and documents concerning Drake's relationship with youngins, bro. And this is the craziest part about everything, because not only are they looking into that, they're also bringing up the criminal charges belonging to Baka Not Nice. Why is he still around? The whole
you done. Do y'all just hear what he said? He said they're about to look into the activities about what Drake be doing with the youngins. Y'all thought What's the Dirt be doing some digging. They got the pictures. They got the footage. I'm telling you, they got the footage.
Same,
bro. Yo, Drake, bro, give it up, man. Just quit, bro. Just quit. Oh man, bro, you in trouble, bro. You in trouble. I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you thought that Not Like Us was bad, you're saying that song defamed you, you got to be living in a delusional world if you don't think that this company is going to expose you.
Bro, this is bad, but it's bad in the sense that, bro, like, how you ain't see this shit coming? Like, I feel like Drake literally feels like he's just the Karen that could just go out there, complain, talk shit, do what he wants, and then nobody gonna say shit. Like, bro, you think this ain't gonna bring heat to your spot? Yo, what are we on, man? Like, bro, you can't sell drugs and go snitch on your neighbor who 2 houses down from you because they selling more. You gonna make your spot hot, you big dummy. That's literally what Drake did at this point, bro. What the hell?
So again, more self-incrimination. So Drake, why do you want to keep dragging this lawsuit forward? Drake is mad. He's mad he lost the rap war he started. He's mad Kendrick has a better contract at UMG, even though Drake want to market himself as the bigger artist between the two, when all he has over Kendrick Lamar is streams. And that's reasonable because your discography is literally like 3 times Kendrick's. You should have more streams than him. You're not more talented. You're not more versatile. You're not a better performer. You're not a better rapper. You're not more rewarded, especially not at the big awards that account. It's a landslide. And he wants Kendrick's contract.
The warning. Now, back in April, this was a statement made by UMG before the discovery was processed. Drake, unquestionably one of the world's most accomplished artists and with whom we've enjoyed 16 years successful relationship with, is being misled by his legal representatives into taking one absurd legal step after another. In Texas last November, his counsel instituted a legal proceeding with much fanfare and bluster. On Monday, they quietly dropped the case. In New York in January, Drake's counsel filed a defamation lawsuit fearful of being sanctioned by the court for asserting false allegations. Tonight, they amended the complaint to withdraw them, only to add more baseless allegations. 2 weeks ago, his representative celebrated a win, the granting of a routine discovery motion. That win will become a loss if this frivolous and reckless lawsuit is not dropped in its entirety, because Drake will personally be subject to a discovery as well. And as the old saying goes, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And
so they told you in the very beginning, everything that I just stated, UMG told you in the beginning. That's what they said in the very beginning. You're being misled by your lawyers, and they're costing you money. You're put more frivolous claims. You keep doing this, and they dropped the case in Texas. They dropped the case over here. This just costing you money. And they talking about a win, about a discovery. It's a routine discovery. So they say, you claiming a victory in a routine discovery. Okay, you're not going to like the way this plays out. They basically telling you, you're not going to like the results when this happens. This is not, you're celebrating something you're not going to like. You should have stopped right then and there, especially if you know you've done something. But some of these people and celebrities, they are oblivious to reality. It don't exist if they don't want it to. That's how they think. No, not in my world. No, not. It's on the news. Not my news. Not my news. No, there's no way there. No, there's not an earthquake happening. There's something wrong with the pipes. It's not an earthquake. We gotta go. It's an earthquake. No. That's lies. That's false news. Why is my phone going off? Your phone's going off. Get the hell up out of here. No, I don't believe it. till my agent calls. Your agent's dead. He fell in a sinkhole. He ain't gonna be calling nobody. You gotta go. They are delusional. They are delusional. Okay? A lot of these entertainers are very delusional to the real world. So they think nothing really applies. Like they can't believe it. Like I'm not going to say any names here, but there's a celebrity. And this is why I want y'all to go to the Patreon, because we're talking about all of this on the Patreon. Oh, believe me, the Patreon finna be hot tonight. The Carcino for Life Patreon, in case you are not privy. Oh, we got a monster video. The video you thought we did last night that shocked Hollywood, when I was like, Hollywood is exposed and they don't care that you know. Well, obviously somebody really cared because they came and attacked that video like crazy. They wanted to stop the attraction and stop it all. Stop it. Stop it. About the cults and everything. I'm like, oh, dude, there's so many celebrity cults that's going on. They literally have an antichrist. A literal antichrist. He's got a name and everything. I'm telling you all of it. When we get on the Patreon, I cannot tell you that now. And you've seen this guy. He's literally hiding in your face, and he's an antichrist. Definitely. Oh, that's going down on the Patreon. So I'm gonna see what happens when I drop that one. I'm gonna see what happens when I drop that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, see, when you get in that situation and when they just detailed all of it and laid it all out, trust me, you think a lot of these things are not real. And most of these people are under a trance. They're transcended like a signal. It's like I told you, they desensitize you and you don't even know it. It's like people on Instagram, they'll see some like animal, be beheaded or something. They go, oh my God, I'm so sad. And then they'll just flick to the next video and go, oh, look at that little baby. Look at that little baby crawling. They just forgotten about the animal that just got beheaded just seconds ago in the last video. So it programs you to be desensitized to things that you see. They'd be like, oh, homie just got hit upside the head with a pipe. Yo. Before, somebody be like, oh my God, let's try to get us some help. He just got hit upside the head with a pipe. Now you'd be like, oh, no, where's my phone? I didn't get that on tape. I gotta get this on tape. Oh my God, I'm gonna go viral. Now, why would they take that approach? Because we've been desensitized to not even think about that's a natural reaction. Oh, go see somebody's hurt, try to help them. That's like a genuine natural response. Once that's disturbed by a signal that they keep pushing on you, Snapchat and all this, where you gotta take selfies everywhere you go. You're not in the party. You ever see people go to the party and they just taking selfies with themselves in a group? You're not a part of the party. You're not connected with nothing. All you're doing is there to take selfies. You're an individual in a spot where there's a party. You're not engaged in anything because you're too busy thinking of self. Hence the word selfie. That's what they've done to you. They've desensitized you. Now, this is how Drake and everything else and all of these things that they're talking about, we were talking about, and people heard it, and then they went to the next video because their whole thing is Hollywood doesn't care because they know that you're not going to care about it in probably the next 15 minutes. It's very hard, and it costs a lot of money to have them do things like the Diddy situation. They had to keep spending millions of dollars to throw in your face every day so you can care about it every single day. They're going to keep talking about it. They're going to keep this going all until the trial is going. That costs money. Money that they don't care that they spent because they wanted you to hate this man. They will weaponize their entire systems to tear you apart. Because we are controlled. That's what they want everybody to be in. Everybody to be in assimilation. Didn't you see Kendrick Lamar's video, Not Like Us? There was a clear part in Not Like Us that was the most telling of anything you've ever seen. And Dave Free showed it, and it was amazing. And I want to show it to you now. This shot right here. Uh-oh. Now, that shot right there is probably the best shot of the entire video. In the entire video where they show the title, Not Like Us, and you see everybody else is in a simulation except for Kendrick Lamar. This thing right here shows you Not Like Us, and you see Kendrick, how his head is. He's listening like everybody, but he's not in a simulation. He's not a part of the program. Everyone else is attentive. Their heads are straight. They're all in a simulation. But he's not like us. Do you see that? He's different. He's anointed. This shot signified everything that was being said. Some people are like, they call a divergent to the system. They made a whole movie about divergence. Remember Divergent came out, the movie? Well, that's based on a book that actually happened. Some people are, they call the gifted ones. They're touched by God. They have the gift. You ever heard them people say that? They're gifted. They just have a gift. Well, here's the thing about the anointed ones and some that just have this special power within them that it doesn't work. Some of these people, the brainwash doesn't work. None of these things they do to try to get them get them in the straight line they got everybody else in, it don't work with them. They see right through it. In all of these different categories, they had to try to hide people from, in that movie, they had to put them in certain groups. Okay, well, you do this well, you align here, you align there, you align in these groups. But all of those groups are controlled by one entity, no matter what group they're in, except for those who were divergent to systems. They were above it, and they wanted to eliminate those. They don't like them in the said movie. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's different concepts, and I understand why Drake would be upset. And I'm not defending Drake here, but I will say this. I know why Drake is upset. Because Drake is being singled out, and nobody's talking about Tiger. Nobody's talking about him. Nobody's talking about any of these other people in Hollywood who have also dated these young girls in Hollywood, because in Hollywood, it's like age don't exist. It really don't. A 14-year-old like Hillary Duff and all of these people, they were dating people way above their age. Some of these girls were dating older men because in Hollywood, it's just one big, you're a star. If you're a star, your age don't matter. Demi Moore told you she was doing blow at 10. She was 10 years old in parties with adults, some place she shouldn't even have been, in the Hollywood scene. This is a whole cesspool. It is bigger than Drake. It's much way bigger than Drake. He's a small minnow compared to everything that's been going on. But because he's such a big artist, he is going to take the blunt of it now because he refuses to change. This is going to change him now. Oh, but since this, you haven't seen Drake doing none of this activity and playing in your face no more. Oh, no, he's been entirely different now. Since Not Like Us, you don't see no more of that movement ever taking place like it used to. Tiger had 2 girls that were teenagers. Yeah. When he was renting that mansion. And he owed all the money because he was renting a mansion. It wasn't even his house. And he tore up that man's mansion. He was renting that mansion. And he couldn't afford to pay the rent and just basically tore up the house and moved out. And he still owed that guy millions of dollars. But I knew all about it. Kendall Jenner and all of this, dating these rappers. But the sad part, it was like Drake was secretly dating her first. I mean, that Kylie Jenner or whatever. So when he was talking about, you need to act your age and not your girl's age. And it was like, ooh, that's a shot. No, Tiger. If I was talking about Tiger Woods, I would have said Tiger Woods. Hidden Hills is the name of the rich area where all the celebrities live. All of them out there, Maul out there, and all these other people. He be out there hanging out in people's houses in Hidden Hills. Jennifer Lopez used to live there, used to have her house there. Like, that's like where celebrities live. Hidden Hills is a whole area. It's not like we're hiding out in the hills. No. You'll see more dirt done in Calabasas than you'll see in Hidden Hills. Believe me, Calabasas is where you'll see most dirt done. Yeah, Hidden Hills is more like you make more money than the Calabasas people. But Calabasas is where you would have the most fun. Hidden Hills is boring. Yeah, well, you don't want things to get so. You don't want people to get to the extreme to where they don't understand the process of how things are proceeding moving forward. There's a lot of activities that's going on that others aren't privy to. And it's cool till it gets to a certain degree. But it's so many women out there, like you don't even need to go that route. But some of these girls are allowed in the clubs, nightclubs, and everything out there in the celebrity world. They go to celebrity parties. And that's where most of these guys and people meet. But Millie Bobby Brown, he sought Millie Bobby Brown. See, the way Drake was telling the story, what made you think she was such a big fan? And she went to a Drake concert because Drake was in her town and he met her backstage. That's a complete lie. She was pretty much in her own world. Drake reached out to her to say, I'm a big fan of yours. I love Stranger Things and I'm such a huge fan. And she's, oh my God, Drake reached out to me. I'm having a concert in your country, in Australia, and you're in town, I want you to come backstage. He reached out to Millie Bobby Brown. So the fact that you had to put out a narrative of a lie to try to cover up how you met her. Then the Bella Harris situation is a whole nother thing of grooming. Like, I'm going to wait till you're 18. Like, we're just going to date, and then I'm going to wait till you're 18. To prey on somebody from when they're 16 to when they hit 18, that's a whole different degree of insanity and sickness. Now, that's what factually happened because her father, Millie Bobby Brown's father, brought her there. So when she told the story of how they met, it was completely different from the narrative that Drake and his team had put out into the world. Then there was the reports of what happened when they went to a celebrity gathering and they both were there at this event. Those two stayed glued to each other and stayed off from the whole party the entire night. That's just weird. When this dude is in his 30s. Yep. No. The reason that nothing went down is because it got so public. Who knows where this would have went if it didn't get so blown up? See, her being a young kid, doing what a young kid does when they're being interviewed, she says too much. When she told Entertainment Tonight, oh, me and Drake, we talk about everything. We talk about, he gave me so much advice, like about with boys. And it's like, why is this 30-year-old man so vested in a 13-year-old girl and who she's dating? And he says, I miss you. That's oh my God, we're like the best of friends. Why are you telling a 13-year-old girl that's not your child or anything that I miss you? Aha, very good question. How much money is Sloppy actually suing UMG for? Here's the kicker. Sloppy's not suing for money. He's suing to get out of the deal. He's not even suing for money. His whole thing, if this thing goes into a discovery, if UMG is found liable, then they can go into price and all of this. It's not even going to come to that. What he wants is to be released from this contract that he's in. Because this 360 deal, they're eating off of him. He's not getting the money he thought, and now he's like, y'all help sabotage me. No, what he's mad about is they didn't help protect him. Like, why didn't y'all do something like what you did with Pusha T and Meek Mill? Get involved, goddammit, get involved. They was like, look, Meek Mill and Pusha T is not a part of us. Kendrick Lamar is the biggest thing going. Like, this thing is not a diss thing anymore. This thing is a top record of, like, worldwide. You want me to stop that? You want me to kill that record? Are you insane? You want them to kill one of the biggest selling records of all time because you don't like it. Sir, I don't want to talk about Drake. I'm talking about Drake because this is what's happening right now. This is legal paperwork. Oh, no, I can't stand Champagne Sloppy. Once you come after my channel, you have definitely stepped into a realm you don't want to deal with. And once he decided to weaponize his team to come after my channel, we had problems. I was like, oh, that's what you finna do? Harassing and bullying? That's the game you want to play? Okay. I'm going to show you harassing and bullying. I'm going to show it to you. Now you want to play. I ain't even told them nothing about you yet. Now I'm finna dig into your life. Now I'm going to find out everything. You don't want, believe me, you don't want me if I'm giving you 20% of my attention, be happy with that. But if I decide to turn that valve up to 12 and take that attention level up to 70, 80% of my time, you're not going to like the results. And what I was able to find out, he was not, he didn't like those results. So he need to be happy they stopping right here before they start tracking down baby mamas. Now, if they start tracking down baby mamas in these allegations and NDAs with baby mamas, and if they find an NDA with a claim in it saying that, hey, the child is not allowed to say that you're the father, that Drake is the father. You are not allowed to tell the child that Drake is the father. If it says that in the NDA, buddy, woo! The women that you claim that all love you, oh, goodness, Lord. I don't know how a black woman gonna be happy with that he keeps his black baby mama and his big baby mamas, plural, allegedly keeping them under NDAs and in the dark, but the white one, he gonna bring her out and she's an adult film star. If they bring all that out, that's crazy. That's right. So if you on that Patreon, Carcino for Life Patreon, you know what's up. UMG hasn't had a chance to promote the song. They in court, they probably would be. Well, UMG is not on there, okay? They just the distributors. They are not somebody, he's with Relativity. So this is his thing now. Go on ahead and do your thing, Champagne Sloppy. Do your thing. We gave it. It's getting its regular spins. It's just not a good song. Drake fans, look, let me tell y'all something. Look, Drake fans, y'all need to stop it, okay? Are you a fan of Sloppy or are you a fan of his celebrity? Okay? I need to know. And the reason I say I need to know is for this factoid right here. If Champagne Sloppy is doing this kind of activity and you're okay with it, that shows and proves everything I was just saying about being desensitized. Like, you don't matter what he do. You still gonna be right there to listen to the records. That's cool. That's your opinion, whatever. But listen to this. When Champagne Sloppy puts out a record, like, What Do I Miss? Are you gonna listen to that song? Are you listening to that song right now? How long has it been out? A week, 2? I don't know. What, a month, maybe? What do you miss? It missed the charts. You know what I'm saying? Missed the charts. Look at this guy. A lot of people who were and still Drake fans is just popular to hate. It's popular to hate on him now. It's not popular to hate on him now. This is called a legal document. No, that's why I put it up there so you can see it, highlight it, so you can see his face and see Intelligent Hoolum say something that isn't intelligent. A lot of people just want to hate on Drake. It's not really. A lot of people just don't care about him no more. They really don't. See, the attention needle has been moved off of him for the first time. And now that attention needle has been moved away from him, oh my God, I'm so tired of there, dude. I speak for others. I never liked him, but the busted lawsuit got me involved. Yep. He's like, he missed the top 40 hits, but he's still the biggest musician. How? More people playing Went Legit, G Herbo. What did I miss? And which one combined? Exactly. Exactly. That's because his time is over. And it has nothing really to do with Kendrick Lamar. I was telling you guys that yeah. I was telling you guys that from the jump. And before the battle even started, I was showing it to you and what it was equivalent to. Now, I'm going to bring you into the light. Okay, there it is. Let me take this off the screen so you can see that. Now, this is Drake's career. Let me remove the banner. And thanks to everybody who donated to the Cash App. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all sign up to the Patreon tonight because that video is finna break Patreon in half. Now, Drake equivalent album sales by era. Streaming is the green, downloads, physical copies are white, compilations, and original albums. Now, when he first came out, So Far Gone, right? You see the blue, the yellow, and the green. There's no physical singles, really. It's not even counted on here. It's only the albums, the blue, the yellow, and green. Let's go to that. So that's the original album, downloads, and streaming. Right? So the original album sales are about right here, So Far Gone. Right, there it is. Right, downloads, streaming. That's it for So Far Gone. So Far Gone was like, okay, cool. Thank Me Later, the actual album. Physical copies sold about 2.5 million. Downloads did about a couple, and it got to like 5 millions with downloads and streamings. Okay, so it got to like over 5 million. Take Care was people think is his best album ever. Look at Take Care's numbers. Now look at Take Care's numbers. Right? Almost at like 13 million. And that was all because of streaming. The green is streaming. This is downloads. This is original album. So you look at the numbers. Over 15 million equivalent. This is about Nothing Was the Same, was almost at 10 million equivalent, heavy with the streaming. Physical copies were less or just about at Thank Me Later, but not at Take Care. Then comes Nothing Was the Same. Physical copies are becoming less and less. So you've seen the blue starting to dissipate because original album sales are starting to go into streaming. So you've seen Nothing Was the Same here, but downloads were smaller because that's starting to go away a lot. And then you're seeing streaming numbers. And that's over 5 million, almost 6 million, 7 million in streams. Then you comes to What a Time to Be Alive. This comes out and original album copies didn't do too much. This downloads are small. Streaming numbers were even light. It does about 3 million. Then it comes to Views. One of his best-selling albums, an album I can't stand. Now, Views come out, and Views does, it's not like I can't stand it. It's highly overrated. Views was not good. And even Drake knew it. Now, Views came out, and original album sales did about 2. Physical downloads is about, it's a decent number. But streaming through the roof. Over 16, 17 is a commercial success off the heels of the Meek Mill battle. And you can see that with Views, right? Now we're going to get to the Grease. More Life, which was way better than Views. Original albums not selling that much because everything now is basically streaming. Downloads are low, but look at these numbers shoot to the ceiling. I remember I was at the gym when this came out. 9 million. Scorpion comes out. Look at that little bump. Then here you see all that space. Then downloads. Streaming numbers. Look at that. Streaming numbers is almost at 15 million for Scorpion. Scorpion almost got to where Views was at because of streaming, built off of the Pusha T beef, and this gets him out of his deal. This is what UMG has the masters to. Scorpion all the way down. Okay, they have the masters to that. All right, so this is when he negotiates his deal. He's out of his deal. He's no longer with Cash Money, Young Money. All of that's done. He's going straight to Relativity, and he's got Universal, right? So he put out a mixtape of all his old songs that he recorded. It's called the Dark Lane Demo Tapes, and those are all the old songs that he had. Some never released, and he put those out to the world, like The Motion and all these other songs. So he put that out, and I love the Dark Lane tapes. That does a couple million in streams. Then comes his first release. There's basically very limited, like, physical copies ever sold. Very little downloads, but it's all streaming. Certified Lover Boy does like 7 million in downloads, like 7 million equivalent in sales, rather, off downloads, basically. I mean, off streaming, it's equivalent to about 6 to 7 million in the album sale, which is good, right? That is really good. Now, honestly, never mind. Look at that. Barely 2 to 3 anything, right? He's trying a whole new sound, trying to steal somebody else's idea, Beyonce's idea, and look where that gets him. Then Her Loss. He can't even get the 5 million again. For All the Dogs is his worst album ever made. There was no beef with him and K-Dot Public even going on. For All the Dogs didn't go nowhere. So his last 3 albums have been flops. These are considered flops for Drake. Look at this. This is before the battle. So Drake was already falling off. These are here's like features and compilation albums, and that's what this is, these last 2. So his features in streaming, those numbers are high because he's on a lot of features. So all of that is based on this previous catalog. All of this stuff here is where Drake is now. He was already falling off. He had already fallen off before the battle took place. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So Kendrick just put the doggone knife to the heart and finished him off. He was already done. He was already done. He needed this battle with Kendrick to boost his career back up because his career was in the toilet. This is why he engaged in this battle, because he needed something to give him a boost. Look at those numbers. Those numbers tell the real story. That's the real story staring you right in your face. Those low numbers, them last 3 albums, honestly, never mind Her Loss and For All the Dogs. That's what did him in. Once you wanted to be 21 Savage, that's when your career went into the toilet. Now, see, well, I'm glad we clarified that. So now all the Drake fans can understand now. Don't get mad because other people don't like Drake like you no more. Okay? That's on you. If you want to stay on that boat, play his records. Why ain't the other Drake fans playing his records? Because they don't like him. They liked him because the songs were hot. When I said Drake was this, Drake was that, because the song was hot. He ain't made a hot record in I don't know how long. Did you see me up here raving for all the dogs? No. You don't see me saying nothing about that album. First Person Shooter was the only song on there worth the damn. It's probably like about 2 songs on there. Did you see me? I had no beef with Drake at all at that time. Did you see me rave over that album? No. Certified Lover Boy was the only album I liked. After that, Her Loss, I'm like, this is a 21 Savage album. And besides, after the first song, I didn't really like first 2 songs, and I'm like, this sounds like a 21 Savage album. Just Drake is on it. I reviewed the album. I had no beef with Drake. But right now, when he's mad at me and he's mad at every single body who just says you lost, you got smoked by Kendrick Lamar. How could you say I lost to Kendrick? That's right there. It's like betrayal. I'm like, I don't work for OVO. What the hell are you talking about? I sent you a message warning you not to battle Kendrick Lamar. I said don't battle this man. What are you doing? You forgot? Because I definitely did it. But your arrogance and celebrity, they just want to be told, they want somebody to agree with them. I know a person that worked with a celebrity that was fired. They were fired because they were too honest. And the assistant who was fired was told by the handler, said, look, it's not you. Okay, don't hold your head down. It's just that you don't know how to talk to him. And they was like, but I did everything he asked. I did this, I did that. I don't get it. And it's like, he doesn't like, I know what you're saying is true. He doesn't want to hear that. He wants to hear positivity or just the good stuff. He doesn't want to hear the way you word it is just, you just don't know how to talk to him. So that's why he doesn't feel it's going to work out. So, that's why you're going to get work. No one's going to say we can't work with you. You were honest. It's just, that's not what he's looking for. So, sorry, it's not working out. So they let her go. She did find work. She worked with some other people, but that was crushing. That celebrity is, I'm not going to say any names, but I can understand it. I just say I understand it. And she's got to work now. She was working with a couple other people. So she bounced back. And she's working with people they not as big as that person was. And they might be kind of now, but we'll see. That's the thing, though. Is he relevant? The thing that kept him relevant was this beef with Kendrick Lamar, because he really wasn't prominent and there wasn't really anything out there that was in the way, compromising him. Like nobody was there standing in the way. Like there was another rap artist and this. Now Pusha T could come out. And now Pusha got pushed. And Drake, the thing that happened is this with this battle is Drake's machine behind him, like UMG, that would hold Pusha back. Now Pusha's like, I could be out here. I could make my work. People appreciate me now. Thanks, K-Dot. Now the Clips album, I'm like, hey, I'm here for Malice. I'm not here for Pusha T. Which I've been telling y'all since they was battling. I'm like, Malice was the guy. because it was the truth. He was the MC. And then now this album is out. People's like, you know what? You was right, you know, the whole time. I just thinking you just hating on Push. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I was like, exactly. But some people just they can't see it. That I'm just 100. I'm just 100 with it.
I don't know.
Yep. Those are your fans. And they telling you to leave, bro. Oh, they coming with the sabotage. Oh, okay. They came with the sabotage. All right, let me see. Y'all can hear me, right? Okay, they playing dirty. Look, Drake you got your little team playing dirty. You got your team playing dirty, huh? All right. We're gonna go run it again.
Plan here is, but again, like they said, his lawyers are basically, man, yo, they eating, bro. Like they eating, they getting their money, they getting their bank. They know what they doing. You're supposed to make your client feel like he can win. You know, that's how you keep the money flowing, bro. You make him feel like he can win, and you do whatever you can to help him win, even if you feel like this guy ain't gonna win. You still gotta do what you gotta do, man. Get that paper, dog. That's what these lawyers doing. Now
he thought Benz though that they so big they were just gonna shut him up. Like, yeah, heck, come 100 mil. Get out of it. Get out, beat it. We don't want to do. Nah, they fighting. They gonna go back and forth with him. He thought they was just gonna be like, we don't feel like being in court, man. Drake, you want us to get be off of UMG. You wanted, you want your masters and all that. Okay, go ahead, do your thing. Nope. They gonna fight to the end.
So to recap, this is UMG basically showing they won't be Drake's shield anymore. The gloves are off and they are ready to the ends. He wanted them to silence Kendrick. They refused. And now they're saying, if you drag us into court, we'll bring every skeleton out of your closet. Drake lost the rap war. And if UMG follows through, he's about to lose in court too.
Oh, now it's your turn. So you want to look into everybody? Guess what? Now all of those songs going to come up. And when Kendrick said in Meet the Grams, he said they streamlining girls and calling them tender, all that stuff is coming out.
Yeah.
Everything. Leak videos of themselves, that video is gonna come out of Drake doing what he did. Everything's gonna come out. And you know what else might come out? Drake really might have a daughter. That might come out too. Because it's gonna have to. If he has, and there was a female who said that she had to sign an NDA. There's a couple of them. Now, you don't know if that's true or not, because people lie. But we're going to see what happens. But yeah, he put himself in a real pickle.
Listen, man, I know we said that Drake is at a point where he feels like he's in too deep. He can't turn back now. But Drake, the smart thing right now would be to just take the L, say you lost, bro, and leave, bro. Like,
and that's that. It's self-sabotage. No, what he wants Kendrick's deal. He want what Kendrick got. He's like, I want what he got. He one of those kids who want what everybody else got, but it's like, you said you wanted this. And you got it. I don't care. I want what he got. Well, you didn't want that. This is what you wanted. I don't want that. I want what he got. So he's mad because he didn't do good business. His team, because he has poor representation, he thought it was a flex when he got that $400 million deal. Like, yeah, $400 million. And he flexed about that. He bragged about the re-up. Wait till you see the next deal. And they did it based on the equivalent. He didn't like what he saw. I'm like, did you think you're going to get another $400 million? I said that in the video I did. Like, you a fool. You thought, look at what your numbers are. You thought you were getting another deal? Did you see where your last 3 albums are? No, they're not going to give you that. Even though they're making money off your old material, they're still not going to give you another $400 million when you're not worth that no more. Why would they be looking to give you that twice or even more? That would be stupid of them. But like I said, delusional, right? He thinks he's equivalent to that. And this dude, Drake, has released over 40 records since Not Like Us. Over 40 records he has released. 40 since Not Like Us. 40 records, dog. And none of them are doing anything. You spent all this money on this for this song that you thought was going to bring you back called Nokia. You thought this was going to bring you back in the fold. Nokia, that's the one. Let's make the video. We're back. We're going to show that Not Like Us video Our video is going to be way better. Let's go. And it turned out to be flop. Another champagne sloppy production. I couldn't stand that song when it came out. And they trying to say, oh, no, it's just people got Drake fatigue. No, we got bad song fatigue. If the song is bad, we don't want anything to do with it. I know I don't. I don't like bad music. Yeah, 6 gigs of crap. He just kept dumping crap and crap and crap. Yeah, a more expensive video than Not Like Us. And supposed to be parroting Not Like Us. And was not looked at and respected like Not Like Us. You spent more money, wasted it, to make a generic version. And that's why I said, this guy who does not have a team around him. He doesn't have the best support system. And I don't know what's wrong with him. It's like really, it's like his brain is gone. It really is. And you're looking at him and you're kind of confused. Like, man, like what is wrong with this guy? Like you really start to think that there's something seriously wrong. Or is it all celebrity? Is that what it is? The power of celebrity? Oh, 100%. And the reason why I say 100% is because, you see, they were knowingly involving themselves into this battle, and the disrespect that was going on when this battle was happening was the key. And just targeting me when you had Icarus and Mercules and all these people, when you running around, you know, these guys that want to, just because you hate Kendrick Lamar and all this stuff, you are the ones who are out here doing the craziest things. That was you. We just brought it to light. Let me show you what really got them upset with me. Y'all want to see that? This what really got them hot. That's what got you hot. You saw that thumbnail and you complained to YouTube about the thumbnail. This what got you hot. You complained to them about this. And UMG has just come out and said what they said, and you got mad at my thumbnail. Well, get mad again, nigga. Get mad again. Get mad. I want you to get big mad. I want you to look at it again and get mad. Get mad. Get big mad. Get mad at that thumbnail again. You said harassing and bullying. I'm bullying you. Okay. You wanted to play. I didn't want to do this. I was just doing the battle. Then you wanted to put me in the battle. You wanted to battle me. I said, oh, Okay. You trying to get tough. Okay, let's get tough. Yeah, that's what we talk about. Thanks, G. That's what we need to address. So, when you saw him be the way he is and caught in secession, he's like, ew. Oh, I know. Now, all this might get brought up. All that stuff he did on the Monkey app, gonna get brought up. It's called You Wanted to Play Sloppy. And they ready to, UMG is ready to play with you. See, I ain't got $1 billion. They do. So they can really get in the mud with you. Yeah, those reference tracks did them in, especially with me. I'm like, dog, I don't know what you made no more. After those reference tracks came out, and I was like, ooh, man, Vori did these songs. Vori did Mob Ties. That's what turned off a lot of his fans. When they saw Vori did Mob Ties, that was it. Yeah. Dog, he tried. This is how pathetic he is. You see, Sloppy, this what you don't want to come up. We know what you don't want to pop up in that courtroom, but let's show them what might pop up. I think it's time to show them what that might pop up in the courtroom. Let's take them there. Let's take them there, ladies and gentlemen. For us to go out and find children. Right? Now, are you going to take the DNA test? Who is that, Sloppy? Well, that's the biggest question. Now, this man is not above hiding children. We all know. But from what I'm hearing from my sources, that there are plenty of women now coming forward claiming to have children with the certified lover boy. There are many women who keeps his attorneys busy with claims that Drake has impregnated them, told them to get rid of the baby, paid them to do it. All of these rumors are starting to resurface, and they're blaming Kendrick Lamar. If Kendrick didn't make that song, none of this would be happening. Why, Kendrick? Why? So Drake fans are going up and down with this whole narrative. Now, this one lady appears to be sending out plenty of messages to Drake through his DMs under his comments posts with no response. Doesn't seem like Drake has responded to any of the messages and the claims that this is his child. Now, this could be a child that looks like Drake. We have no proof that Drake is actually the father of this child or this woman even knows Drake altogether. But the resemblance are striking. Now, whether this woman is crazed, we don't know. But we also know characteristics of Drake. He is a manipulator and a liar. So because he's a manipulator and a liar, he cannot be trusted. So when your credibility is shot, you're going to have a hard time trying to get the genuine public to believe anything that you're going to say. And since this was done before the Kendrick Lamar beef even took place, years of this woman trying to get your attention to come see and take care of your son. And all of a sudden, communications go quiet. Now, we also know females just happen to disappear when being around Drake or presence of Drake for long periods of time. You know, there's just weird coincidences and accidents or intruders and things of that nature just so happen to show their face and do certain things. Now, all of us together have noticed a titanic shift in the energy level due to this Kendrick Lamar battle. But the rumors about said NDAs from Drake has been alarming. Now, from one girl who has the oldest child in this whole scenario that Drizzy hasn't seemed to be conversing with or having anything to do with the narrative or anything other than that child has not met any of the obligations or been forced to have meet any of the conditions that was laid before him. It is alleged that the second child, which was really the first child, he's older than Adonis, was confirmed by DNA testing. And you have been secretly taking care of that child through a said NDA. And a gross rumor that your NDA indicates that that child cannot know you are his father. The mother is not allowed to tell him he's the father. Now, the NDA says the money stops on his 18th birthday. No matter if he decides to go to college or not. As part of their agreement, he's more than compensated the child for 18 years. The NDA allegedly states that the NDA for the mother is for life. The life of that child. She's taking that money. There's a $250,000 penalty, punishable to even a year in jail for violation of the NDA and found guilty of infractions. You risk a $250,000 fine and the risk of a year in prison. You cannot breach an NDA unless the other party has violated their terms in the agreements. Now, at that said time, when the child was conceived, allegedly, this was early in Drake's career when he was starting his meteoric rise. So the child, we're talking 2008, 2009. That child is now in middle school. And that second child definitely resembles him to a T. Now, allegedly, terms and conditions has to be met in order for all of this to be legit. So if the terms and conditions are not met by Drake, the people involved, he can't mention the child. He can't mention the child by name. He has to avoid it. So he cannot speak about this child. Allegedly, the way his NDA is brought up, he cannot even bring forth the information to speak about the child. Yeah. So long as all sides are being respected and payments are being made, we won't even speculate further. Now, what is the biggest drawback from this? These children, if you are their father, Drake, you're going to grow up like the cats in the cradle. You're going to be an old man. They're going to be young men. And then they're going to look at you in disgust as they get older and know that you were their father and chose not to be in their life. While your son Adonis gets all of the treatment, gets all of the perks, gets to fly on private jets. They gets the father-son time that they don't know about. They growing up confused, not knowing why their father isn't around, and the mother's not even allowed to tell them who their real father is. What a scumbag way. That is a scumbag way to go. Now, everybody's talking about his music career and will he bounce back? Will he bounce back in life? He's done so much wrong that the people and the public don't even realize this man has done so much wrong. How is he ever going to get right? He's got to get his soul right first. When your soul ain't right, nothing else is going to work for you. You can't fix this. You're not going to be able to, what they say, tootsie slide your way out of it. By you not manning up and being a man. It goes in line with what Kendrick said. I know they call you the boy, but where's the man? Because we haven't seen him yet. So this goes to show you people that no matter what your status quo is, what your stature is, that does not matter. It does not equate. That does not make up the mark of a man. Hundreds of millions of dollars mean nothing. It means nothing if your character of who you are as a man is in question. Because you can't get that back. All the money Drake got, he can't get it back. The character of who you are as a man stands the test of time. I don't understand why it's hard for some people to believe or see the patterns. I knew what it was from day one. When I showed y'all back in 2008, late 2008, 2009, when Best I Ever Had came out, his album didn't even drop, and I gave my opinion on Drake, on his music. Now, he gravitated to doing more music that I liked down the road. But you got to understand something. He was the cool, nerdy guy who got rejected by girls, right? And now he's this tough guy, mob guy. It's just it's weird. getting all these tattoos everywhere. That's just weird. Got a Leah tattooed on his body. Just weird. Like everything that this guy does is got to be in question. You're just like, there's something going on here. There's like an empty space in this guy. And this comes from the disattachment that he has of not knowing which world he wants to. He's got one foot in this world, one foot in another world. You see, he classifies himself as Jewish around them. Then he classifies himself with the braids, with the clothes. He's trying to be like, yo, I'm with y'all. And it's like, well, which world are you in? Because you're trying to pivot two worlds and you're in the middle. I've seen this happen. Seen this happen a lot. Either black Jewish kids, they're either Jewish and they have no connection really to their black side of their family, or barely have any connection to it whatsoever, or they're trying so hard to fit in to black society, to appropriate themselves. They feel like they gotta try and prove more than anybody, like, hey, I'm black. Like, you don't have to do that. And they really press hard to try to do it. Like, yo, I'm showing y'all I'm gonna be the blackest black person that you've ever seen. I am black. So, it's like they try to fight for an identity or a place. And this is a common problem that most mixed people have, is the acceptance of themselves. Now, when you can't accept yourself, or you're in a situation where it's not going, like you have these questions and doubt about yourself, what you think your children are going to have? They're going to have a lot of questions. When the whole denomination, and they're going to have doubts. They're going to have doubts. They're going to have all these questions. Yeah. So when you start going down that road, buddy, believe me, it's going to get real, real dark. And everybody's going to have a lot of questions for Sloppy. And Sloppy is in a position where he don't know how to answer them. This did not go in a way he liked and thought it was going to go. Yeah. And then, this is the same guy that tried to go after Kendrick Lamar's ex-girlfriend. And then that didn't work out. That blew up in his face, because that was his big play. He thought he could go get her to turn on Kendrick and go from there. When things get messy, it get messy. When Kendrick Lamar was on a break from his fiance, he was, in a basically relationship with this artist, Nicki, the MC. And she's straight out of New York, doing her thing. And Kendrick and her were kicking it. So this before he went back to his girl, her label didn't think it was a good idea that Kendrick was a bad look for her career. Can you believe that? Seriously, they actually thought Kendrick Lamar would be a bad look for Nitty. That's ridiculous. But you never know how these managers think about somebody's career, that this is a bad look for her career. And she couldn't really talk about the relationship for a while, and they split up. They still cool. They still follow each other to this day. And allegedly, Drake was trying to find her. So I don't know when he was trying to find her. I don't know if he's trying to find her today or yesterday or the day before. But Drizzy Drake was trying to get a hold of Nitty Scott, I guess, to try to find dirt on Kendrick Lamar, and was, implying that they're trying to find some information on him. So I have no idea about anything other than that. So when the news come to me, I just report it to y'all. That's my job. And if you look at like Nitty Scott, like she is an Afro-Latina, very voluptuous woman. And she is someone that doesn't really show her body, though. She doesn't. She normally keeps her body, covered up with her t-shirts and everything. So don't nobody really too much know, what she's working with. She don't really put that out there to the world. So when you saw her go out into the world and tell everybody about her and Kendrick, this became a situation that went back to the actual masses of the people, and this didn't make a lot of sense to the record label and the people that didn't want her to speak to Kendrick Lamar. Things started to turn for the worse because they started to act strange when they were together, and it wasn't that, because she did shows in LA, Cali, Sprite Fest, it was very common for her to do these shows. So it wasn't uncommon for her to be in a situation where it would be uncomfortable for her to be around Kendrick Lamar in a setting. Like they were MCs, like they rapped together. A lot of people was like, oh, she didn't want people to really say, okay, well, Kendrick Lamar is writing all your raps. She didn't want that, that label. So they kind of kept the situation private and discreet. But, it is what it is. When you date someone from high school, y'all might have breakups. Y'all get back together. So it wasn't like, oh, he's cheating on his wife. They've been together since high school. Yeah, they was dating since high school. They break up. You get back together. That's the gist of it. That's how it goes sometimes. But, this was years later. He ended up proposing to his fiance. And then whatever happens there, happens there. But the fact that Drake is trying to scumbag his way back into the fold doesn't surprise me in trying this approach. I mean, when you're in a rap battle, that's what you're supposed to do, right? Get the information. But I think Drake was probably trying to get a little bit more than information. Drake is known as a dirty, low-down dog when it comes to these women. It's no surprise when you hear his name and all this uckery that you hearing about. So, I mean, you in a rap battle. You gonna try to get the information anywhere you could. But this is what Kendrick was talking about, the money you put in the street. It came back with no receipts. He's sorry he lives a boring life. And there was nothing that she could even tell you anyway. I mean, that you could use in a rap battle because she wasn't going to do that anyway. She's cool with Kendrick. She loves Kendrick. She got love for Kendrick, period. She don't really rock with you at all. And, you know, I just don't think you have a play there, you know, because I'm thinking, in my opinion, that now she's, you know, she was bisexual, but I think she's probably in a relationship with a woman now, you know, so I don't know. You know, I can't speak for other people, but and what they would do, but her energy and vibe doesn't seem like the type that would go for Drake's shenanigans, because she's not just some Instagram thought, you know, she's actually a musician, a female rapper herself, and she's a model. So, I mean, I just don't see the success working for him. So, you know, other people have plans, ideas, and thoughts about it, but not me. You know, it's just something typical that's out of the norm that people are enamored by. It's a shame, though, you know, she's not known for her artistry. We might have to go more into detail on the Patreon, but I might do it here, you know, while we're here, and then you can go to the Patreon and take out, you know, we got a lot of surprises over there, so I'm not even going to tell you what's there. You just go take a look. If you see something you like, you get involved. So let's listen to what she had to say about her relationship with Kendrick Lamar. Was it real? Was it, you know, just something that was a part of somebody's imagination, or she took things too far, or read into it wrong? Let's hear what she had to say.
Rumor on the streets is that you used to date Kendrick Lamar.
And
you know, I've been hearing this for a while, and I wasn't gonna bring it into the interview.
You've been
because
hearing this for a while?
Yeah.
Yo, Ebro's in these streets.
I mean, I heard it too, Nitty. You heard it too. Oh my God.
So, I mean, listen, amazing, great relationship. Y'all look great together. But I heard it was like before Section 80. Like, this is years ago.
Yeah, it was actually. So shout out to Kendrick. That's the homie. Yeah, we had a brief thing.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like a long-term relationship. The way I heard it was like, yo, you know, she used to fuck with Kendrick. It wasn't like, yo, you were his like.
I'll put it like I'll say like that was my boo. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my thing. I was seeing him and him only for at least a year.
Oh, so you guys were in a relationship?
That's a thing. That's a thing.
Yeah, it was a thing.
And you guys are still cool.
Yeah, that is still the homie. Yeah, it honestly, I can't even say that. Okay, let me
Yeah, hold on.
let me pick and choose what it is I want to reveal here.
Just pick nice and easy.
I'll just put it like this. You know, the people that were in charge of my career, in the past, that was a relationship that they were not comfortable with. And I think that's out of pocket already, simply because I don't think your personal relationships should be, determined by people who you're involved with professionally. But that is what really made it so that it couldn't flourish. Just because I was basically told that was not a good look.
Oh yeah, good call on that one. Who wants to be associated with Kendrick?
Who are these people that were managing you?
I'm not under the bus.
Listen,
but
it's probably all a blessing, right? It's probably all a blessing. We're here now. We're having a conversation. I had no idea what I was walking to. I thought it was like I was just gonna throw it out there because you know me, I'm loose sometimes, and I heard you fuck with Kendrick, so I was like, oh, you.
Yeah, no, that was.
I had no idea we was gonna get into a whole thing. Let's get to these bars though.
Let the bars droppeth.
It's the queen of the cosmos, cream of the convo, the wavy Buddha baby, get your lady a poncho. Hit you with the Dawn for the two-piece convo. And Rafa Eric Garner, we ain't fucking with 5-0. Her bright being inhaling these God particles. Why these niggas whine like Jamaicans up at the carnival? Uninhibited in habitats to be had. You just pack a lot of racket with an act to be mad. Young, black, and gifted, and no gas, I'm lifted. Know that I'm crafty when I crack the cryptics. Where are the pickets? I picks on the bigots. And why when you kick it, all I hear is crickets. I've been true. Pen game tend to offend who? Fronting on a camera just like pretends do. I was rocking venues I couldn't get into. 19, right? Never guess what I've been through. You missing the old me, so listen to old me. Refuse to let the motherfucking masses control me. Used to love the caterpillar, now you hate the butterfly. Fronting on my catalog like I don't keep it gutter. Why? Fuck it, I recovered suckers harder and never lie. I just keep it gutter like a rubber in your mother's eye.
No. Now the word got back to me that Drake slid in the DMs and was asking questions. I don't know how true it is, but I just said, well, let me report it, and I'll just tell it to y'all. They said Drake slid in the DMs, doesn't say when. Like this could have been today, tomorrow, yesterday, a month ago when it first dropped. We don't know. It's been that quick. Not like us dropped and everybody's waiting for him to perform it live. And the song been out a month. Having a stranglehold on like the number one. Hell, I still play it. As soon as I get in my car automatically, psst, I see dead people. And I just think like, damn, Drake's career is over. That's where my mind goes every time I hear that song. Every time I hear the beat drop, every time I hear anything revolving around that song, that pops up. I have a hard time trying to explain to people my thought process when it comes around to this. One guy was a scumbag and another guy was righteous. And I chose the guy that was righteous, and everybody's mad at me like I chose the scumbag. Like, why you didn't choose the scumbag? You're a fan of the scumbag. I'm like, I like the songs that he made. But when somebody do a lot of scumbag activity and you just try to ignore it because you're addicted to celebrity and can't separate scumbag from, the actual moment. When Pusha T was being a scumbag, I thought, and a hater, I called it out. I said, Pusha T's being a hater. He has no reason for this beef. This whole beef is on jealousy. And to me, that's weak. Yeah. Jealousy is a weak emotion. Yep. You just feel like I'm a better rapper than this guy. Going on nose candy. And I'm just like, you're not better at this than Drake. You're not. After listening to Kendrick Lamar, Pusha T don't even belong in this conversation. Does not. Drake and Kendrick are better than him. Facts. He might not want to hear that, but it is true. Was it wrong to bring up the situation with the girl? Drake. This is, the route he was going. Because we know the girl that you actually like. We know the girl that you have in your life. So this is what he wanted to go down. He wanted to go down this road. So if Drake can get her on his arm, he think that would help him win, but no, it wouldn't. It would just make it worse. It would make it look bad on her, and it would look worse on you. You would just be the scumbag that they talking about. And they'd be like, see, we don't trust you. So, you solidify that statement when you do crap like that. And that's facts. So I didn't mean to make this an Avengers Endgame type of, video where it'd be that long. So it just ended up going this long. So we gonna cut this here. Thank y'all. Don't forget to go to the Patreon because we got stuff coming for you. So hold your head.